What's up, guys? It's Drip Red, and we're back with more Rise of Kingdoms content on my restart account. Currently 38 mil. Today's video will be 5 tips that you must know to maximize your value in Rise of Kingdoms. But before we hop into that list, just a quick update on our KVK2. Zone 6 is almost just under 2 days. 2 days away from opening, and we have our big fight with 42 and 48. This will be an extremely hard fight. Just mostly 48 has the strongest alliance in this KVK at the moment with 8.2, and we're about 6.1. That could go up more. It just depends. But yeah, it'll be a pretty hard fight. 48's obviously going to be involved, but their strongest alliance is 3.5. That's it. Yeah, okay. 45's not a, or 48 is not a problem. 42 is going to be a big fight. It's going to be interesting. Clearly, just because you have more power does not mean you're going to win the fight. But I will say it will be tough. They're a tough opponent, and it's going to be a 1v2. But let's go ahead and hop into our list. And before we do that, if you enjoyed my content, please like and subscribe. Just hit the wrong button. Come on. And number 1 on our list is make sure you use your boost. All right. Boost can be either the farming boost. I usually pop a 24-hour. Whether you have the 24 hours, you can pop the 8 hours and use them every once in a while. But it also includes your attack enhancements and your defense. I don't use the attack too much. I prefer defense. Then you have your expansion boost, which you got to have these for KVK because everybody's going to be using them. And if you don't use them, you're going to be behind. Then you have your anti-scouting, where they can't scout you for 24 hours. Your deceptive troops, where basically it will report more troops than you actually have. They don't really get used that much, but some people do. But that's number 1. Number 2 is farm accounts. You have to have farm accounts in today's KVKs, in today's Rise of Kingdoms. Can I show my accounts? Am I going the wrong way? You see here, I have 3 farm accounts just for this restart account. They're farming nonstop. It's the whole reason I have, a lot of wood and everything right now. It's early. People have a lot more resources, but it's still early, and I'm still farming away. It's a non-stop thing. You cannot stop farming. You stop farming, you're done. You're going to run out of RS, and it's just going to be a whole issue for you. But yeah, I have 3 of them farming. I have another farm account for a main account, which is helping, but I can't run 3 farm accounts for both accounts that I play. It's way too much. I feel like this is way too much. Like farther in the future, I might get rid of one of my farm accounts for my restart. But we'll figure it out later. And also, this one's a 2-parter. How to use your RSS tokens, which are basically these, all your chest and all these tokens that grant you a certain X amount of food, wood, stone, and gold. As you can see, I have a lot. I mean, I say a lot, but this is a KVK2 account, so this is a lot. Other accounts will have millions of these. But I prefer not to use these at all. Obviously, there will be points where you have to use those, because you're going to run out of resources at some point. But that's why I have the farm accounts. By the time I use the 1 billion RS that I have on me, my farm accounts were already gathered at like another 500 to 1 billion RS. So that is the best way I would do it. I just say don't open your tokens unless you absolutely have to. It's better to save them up. Plus, it looks nice. All right. On the number 3, what resources you need to be farming depending on your troop type. Okay, this one's a 2-parter as well, but this would be the first section. Let's say like me, I am, if I can find the right place, I'm an infantry main. I have far more infantry than any other troop, almost 3 times as much. So for me to heal my infantry, I need to get wood and corn to heal my infantry. So if that's the only troop I'm going to be using in fights, that's the only 2 resources I need, along with a little bit of gold, which when you're using tier 4, it's not a lot. And when you are using archers, it will be stone and wood. All right. And cav, I'm pretty sure cav is stone and food. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. And the next is when you're building armor. When you want to make the armor for your troops, when you're making infantry, you're going to want the iron ore. You got to focus on making iron ore. If you're working on archers, you want ebony. And for cav, it will be leather. It'd be leather for calves. And then the bones are used for your farming runs or your siege. Basically, siege. All right, that's it for number 3. Number 4 is your speed up management. And this is more for the later game. As you can see, I'm okay, but I'm really not, because I only have about 123 days. Obviously, my training speed ups were low. We just had training events, Power Zeniths going on right now, which I'm not competing in, but I did take the opportunity to train as many troops as I can because we are opening a zone 6. Building speed ups and research. You only want to use them on what they're made for. Healing speed ups, obviously, for only healing. The speed ups, the regular speed ups, the universal speed ups, you don't want to waste them. I definitely wouldn't waste them on building, and I wouldn't waste them on training. You have 2 options here. You can use them on your research sometimes, like say you're pushing tier 5 and you need to get it done and you're out of research. Use some of your universals if you have to. Like me personally, I'm close, but I'm kind of not to tier 5. So if I have to push some, I'll use some of my universal, but I will make sure I have at least 100 days left over. Because I'm not a huge spender like some of these guys in their SOC KVKs where they have thousands of days of speed ups. But I make sure I at least have 100, because when you get into KVK, your healing speed ups are going to go unless you're buying them. But you want to have universals to cover your healing. And I think that would be the best way to do it. You can use some research, but you got to be careful about that and make sure you leave some left over. Only if you're pushing for tier 5s. All right. And number 5 on the list is find the kingdom that works for you. And what I mean by that is it all depends on how active you're going to be and how much you're going to spend. Let's say an Imperial Kingdom. You can check out any of the Imperial Kingdoms, 2377 or 260. They have high spending players, and they're one of the strongest kingdoms in the game. They have a bunch of active players. And if you're going to be in a kingdom like that, you either need to play all day, or you need to be spending thousands of dollars to be keeping up with the activity there. And I was going to say, if you're like a medium to low spender, you might be best off in an A or BC kingdom. Or if you're like me right now, like I'm in an Imperial Kingdom, but this is like a pre-SOC Imperium. It's hard to tell, but I'm not spending as much as I was. So maybe a couple KVKs in the future, I might go to either a strong B or a weak A kingdom, just so I think it might fit me better. But you just have to look at the kingdoms, look at their activity, see how strong they are, and depending on your power and how active you are, you need to make a right decision there. So yeah, you could be in a D or C seed kingdom and still have good time, but it's going to be a lot weaker, less gold chests. It just depends on your activity. Like my revive account is in a C or a D seed kingdom right now because I'm trying to lay low. I do help in KVKs, but I'm not doing the best because I don't have the equipment, I don't have the armaments, I don't have the commanders. So I do what I can, but I am not at threat of being zeroed in that kingdom, because that's another thing you have to think about. If you're in one of these high seat kingdoms and you just, life happens, you can't be around for the KVK, and they decide to zero you for that one KVK, no matter what you've done in the past. So all your progress is just, it's eliminated, gone. Nothing you can do about it. So you got to pick a kingdom that's either, depending on your playstyle, is going to let you play out the game you want and not be zeroed if you're busy. But all right, guys, that's it for my list. If you enjoyed my content, please like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.